Commissioners. A 28-year-old Republican voting for Trump, she thinks that Trump can keep the gains he made with younger voters when Biden was still in the race.
I will say when I'm voting for President Trump, I'm not voting for a person. I'm voting for his policies. Their volunteer base has grown in Pennsylvania significantly. And I think what they need to do is get the young, passionate, motivated individuals out there seeking other young individuals to do the same.
For that, the Trump campaign is turning to people like Stephen Kale. Did you ever expect to be working on a political campaign?
I did not, no.
The 33-year-old service technician from outside Pittsburgh was motivated to knock doors after he witnessed the former president get shot at his Butler rally in July.
What I saw that day, I just wanted to help out.
For Kale, that means outworking Harris volunteers and staying on message with younger voters as much as possible.
I started off by talking about the economy, their cost of living, especially if they're in college, paying higher prices for gas, utilities.
Even CNN's reporting on it, gang. Pennsylvania is trending red big time, and it's even getting the notice of the most dishonest name in fake news, CNN. Pigs really do fly. We're going to see the latest county to flip red in Pennsylvania, and we're going to see how it's all part of three major dynamics that are shaping this race into what appears to be a decisive Trump victory. Greetings, everyone. It is live stream Monday night. As always, I am your host, Dr. Steve, your patron professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. So you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button as we do every single Monday night. We've got our exclusive backstage private Q&A tonight. If you'd like to join our private virtual platform and ask me all your questions, just click on that link in the description below or go to fight.turleytalks.com. That's fight.turleytalks.com. Sign up for any level of support and you will be given your own backstage pass to ask me anything you like, as well as have fellowship with some of the coolest patriots on the planet. So just click on that link below, become a supporter at any level, and we will transition to our private virtual platform in mere moments, where we will have the most wonderful time of Patriot Fellowship. You absolutely love it. So make sure to click on that link and sign up. All right, we've got huge news coming out of the all-important swing state of Pennsylvania. Another county, thank you, Scott Pressler, another county just flipped from blue to red. Luzerne County has flipped Republican for the first time in decades, since 1970. Republican voter registrations are through the roof in Pennsylvania, so much so that we're now seeing the third county in the state turn red in just the last few months. Scott Pressler with Early Vote Action just posted this tweet there. Excellent. We flipped Beaver County. We flipped Bucks County. We flipped Luzerne County. Now we're going to flip Pennsylvania. I actually used to live in Bucks County. My second oldest daughter was born there, and now they've just flipped Luzerne, and now they are ready to flip Pennsylvania as a whole, which will be huge. Take a look at this map as of today. This is the partisan breakdown per county. This is what Pennsylvania looks like going into November. Of the 67 counties, Democrats are left with literally just a handful. That's it. Now, obviously, a lot can happen in those counties with the population centers of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, but this is just absolutely awesome. And this is a trend that we're literally seeing everywhere throughout the country. When we look at the voter registration trends, the Republicans have been dominating in every single state for the exception of Colorado. Now, just, I guess, a little too many doobies getting rolled in Colorado there, not quite in touch with reality. Now, if you go to the Department of Elections websites, you'll find that Republicans have out-registered Democrats. I mean, just look at it. By 1 million voters in Florida, by 350,000 in New York, by over 260,000 in North Carolina, by over 100,000 in Arizona, and even by nearly 80,000 in California. And in Pennsylvania, as you could see there, in Pennsylvania, Republicans have out-registered Democrats by 320,000 voters since 2020. The election data analyst Rich Barris, a good friend to this channel, wonderful analyst, a great YouTube channel in his own right. He has looked at the numbers in Pennsylvania. He's concluded that the voter registration trends in the Keystone State are extremely dire for Kamala. We just interviewed actually Scott Pressler. Our home office is in Pennsylvania, in Ephrata. And our president, Ralph Cochran, ran into Scott at a voter registration rally over the weekend. Micah, do we have a clip of that interview ready here?
Anything, the rawness is fine.
What Scott's efforts are. Thank you. Well, my name is Scott Pressler. I'm the founder of Early Vote Action. That's earlyvoteaction.com. And so we have a state director here in Pennsylvania. We have 40 staff on the ground. And my goal is to register voters and make sure that we are electing Donald J. Trump this November. Now, we're here in a place called Lancaster, Pennsylvania, not to be confused with Lancaster. That's how they know you're not from here. It's Lancaster. Now, this area is very important because it's a red county, but we need to increase our share of the vote here. Now, our governor is Governor Shapiro, a Democrat that is waging war on raw milk, waging a war on the Amish, on farmers, on dairy. And so especially here in Lancaster County, we are courting the Amish vote. We are reaching out to those voters because if they want to continue their small business, if they want school choice, if they want to be pro-family, if they don't want forced vaccinations, then the only choice this November is Donald Trump for president. And so we are here at the beautiful Green Dragon Farmers Market, and I may mispronounce this, but it's Ephrata. And our goal is to get everybody registered to vote. Now, if you see here, in addition, we have 930,000 hunters in Pennsylvania. Of those, 30% are not registered to vote. And so, 2020 in Pennsylvania was decided by 80,000 votes. If every hunter in Pennsylvania votes, we win. There are 90,000 Amish in Pennsylvania. If every Amish votes, we win the election. And so we're here to court those votes, get them out to vote, and win Pennsylvania and deliver the presidency for Donald J. Trump.
So our listeners, they're all over the country, but there's a bunch of them that are here in Pennsylvania. What can they specifically do to help your efforts?
Thank you. Well, I want everybody at home to check your voter status. Some people, you may not have voted for a while. You might be inactive, meaning that they might remove you from the voter rolls. That is something that's been happening across the state. Make sure that you're an active voter at your current address with your preferred party. And I also want to make sure our beautiful truckers, do they have a plan to vote? Because they might want to vote early, they might want to vote by mail. Our truckers are serving us, the American people. What if they're not able to be there on Tuesday, November 5th? Our pilots, Pete Buttigieg might cancel your flight. So therefore, I need you to vote early. Our airline attendants, our police officers, our firemen, our members of the United States military, those are all people who could benefit from early voting and mail-in voting. And what I need you to meet people where they are. I want you to go to your gun store, your fraternity house, your VFW, your American Legion, your Home Depot. You can find a husband when you go to Home Depot. That is a 2-for-1 combo. I just want you to bring our conservative message that if people are not better off now than they were 4 years ago, then we need Donald J. Trump back in office.
Brilliant. I just love how he segments all the voters and all the different what are they even called in economics? So I'm forgetting the term, but the different strata of professions. And then he says, oh, wait a minute, 40% of them aren't registered to vote. 30% of them aren't registered to vote. I'm going to go and find them, and I'm going to squeeze out every last drop of Republican vote I can in Pennsylvania. Maybe, Mike, at the end of this, maybe Micah could give us the details of how we can get the rest of the interview so that you could see it. It's absolutely wonderful. Now, this voter registration surge is actually just one part of 3 overall dynamics that are shaping the state of the race right now. So as we head into the final stretch of this campaign, just the last 40 days, we have 3 major data sets for understanding the state of the race. Okay. So this is, if you want to make sense of where we are right now in this race, if you want to cut through all of the fog of war, as it were, here you go. Write these down because this will help frame where we are. First and foremost, we've of course got these voter registration trends that we've been talking about. But then also we've got early voting numbers that are coming in. And then thirdly, we've of course got the polls. So we got voter registration trends, we've got early voting, and we've got the polls. And the question here is whether we could start discerning some patterns in these 3 overall dynamics. When we overlap them, do we start to see a clear picture of what's happening? And the answer is an emphatic yes. This is what Eric Doherty, the polling analyst, just tweeted out. Quote, guys, the trend everywhere is just red. Red. Mail-in requests, early voting, Virginia, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Florida. These things don't just happen in a vacuum. Rules in Virginia are blowing up in turnout compared to blue counties. We'll talk about that again. We talked about that earlier today. It's not going to just happen in one state. And bringing this back to Pennsylvania, the Epoch Times had a really good piece on this. They just published it today. They've documented, get this, current reports indicate that we're seeing a swing of 250,000 ballot requests towards Republicans and away from Democrats. 250,000 early vote ballot requests towards Republicans and away from Democrats as compared to this time in 2020. So this is a combination. They're getting to that number by adding the Democrat shortfalls, which are just over 190,000 ballots. That number has gone up, as I understand it. That shortfall has gone up significantly. I've got some stats on that. And Republican gains, which are over 60,000 since 2020. So remember, in 2020, Biden had 2 million early ballots cast by election day. Okay. So if you're keeping score here, Biden went into November 3rd with 2 million early ballots cast. Trump only had 600,000. So this 250,000 swing in the Republicans' direction is absolutely huge. Less ballots are being requested, all as less Democrats and more Republicans are requesting ballots than in 2020. So it looks like Republicans are going to shave that 1.4 million early vote advantage that Biden had. They're going to shave that dramatically. Here's the real-time data. This comes courtesy of Cliff Maloney of Pennsylvania Chase, the Pennsylvania Chase. We just had Cliff on the channel. He's wonderful. That 1.4 million ballot advantage the Democrats had in 2020 has imploded. Thus far, it's just over 485,000. Now, remember, all Trump has to do is pick up 80,000 votes more than he did in 2020 when the Democrats had the 1.4 million early vote advantage. That 1.4 million shrunk down to 80,000. So Trump just has to do that same magic with far less votes and find that 80,000 more. And it looks like that's at this point, he's doing that and then some again. Thank you, Scott Pressler. Whereas Kamala just looks like she's struggling big time. And of course, this morning we were talking about the amazing numbers coming out of the state of Virginia. I mean, gang, this is just freaking huge. All the Trumpy congressional districts in Virginia. These are districts that voted 60, 70% Trump. They're seeing turnout numbers like never before. And they're absolutely blowing the rest of the state out of the water. You're going to love this. By the way, if you are just joining us, tonight we're going to go and have our Q&A, our live Q&A, but it's backstage, you see, because it's censorship free. So we're going to remove it from YouTube and go backstage. All you got to do is click on the link or go to fight.turleytalks.com/join and just do just that. Join any level of support that you like. You'll get a immediate access by way of a link to our virtual backstage platform that is censorship free, and we will be going there momentarily tonight for our live Q&A plus wonderful fellowship with your fellow patriots. So just click on that link below or go to fight.turleytalks.com/join and join the festivities. All right. So 4 of the reddest districts in Virginia right now, I believe there are 11 districts altogether in Virginia, if I recall. 4 are the reddest are districts. These are congressional districts 1, 5, 6, and 9. As of the data this weekend, they've cast over 25,000 votes already in Virginia. The 5 Democrat districts, the districts, congressional districts 3, 4, 8, 10, and 11, they cast just over 20,000 votes. And then the swing districts of congressional district 7, congressional district 2, they cast just over 7,000 votes. Now, when you do your math, you will note what we're seeing in Virginia is that the 4 Republican districts are outvoting the 5 Democrat districts. That's the first thing you'll notice. And then when you add the swing districts with the Democrat-leaning districts, Republican-leaning districts are just a few thousand votes away from actually beating both Democrat and swing districts combined. Every Virginia county in the southwest of the state, which collectively voted for Trump by upwards of 70%, every one of those counties have doubled their 2020 early vote numbers. Doubled. So we're talking Buchanan County, Bath County, Lee County. They all are up over 200% in their voter turnout. In fact, I talked about this morning in Matthews County, which voted Trump 65%. They may end up having the highest vote turnout in the entire state. Now, by contrast, the early voting in the heavily Democrat Prince William County is down 45% from where they were at the same time in 2020. So again, when all is said and done, jurisdictions that voted for Biden are showing a turnout increase of 64%, but jurisdictions that voted for Trump are showing a turnout increase of 83%, a 19-point turnout advantage. And don't overlook, I should say, the cross-state implications of this. If Cackles is losing Virginia, or if it's even close in Virginia, remember, Biden won Virginia by 10 points. If it's even close, if it's within a few points, there ain't no way she's coming close to winning North Carolina, since North Carolina always votes to the right of Virginia, significantly more Republicans there, often by double digits, by the way. If she's struggling in Virginia, it's going to be a blowout in North Carolina. And again, that's exactly what we're seeing in the early voting ballot requests. In North Carolina, Democrat requests are down nearly 9% from 2020, whereas Republican requests are up. They're up by nearly 4%. That's the pattern we're seeing across the board wherever ballot requests have started. Democrat requests are down and Republican requests are up. So if Kamala is losing Virginia, there's no way she's winning North Carolina, and we're already seeing the data to suggest that. And more than that, if she's losing Virginia, she's losing every single state in the so-called blue wall. She's losing Wisconsin. She's losing Michigan. She's losing, ding, ding, Pennsylvania. Precisely because there's significantly more Republicans in those states. Those 3 states consistently vote to the right of Virginia. So if Kamala is losing Virginia, or if it's even coming close, that means she's losing North Carolina, she's losing Wisconsin, she's losing Michigan, she's losing Pennsylvania. So this goes way beyond just Virginia, this early voting. And again, ironically, this is exactly what we're seeing in all the polling. Okay, you may have heard about this. I don't know if you've heard, but it's being widely reported now. I think Rich Barris actually was talking about it on his live stream earlier today with Robert Barnes. It's being widely reported that Trump's internal polling has him +3 in Pennsylvania, and Kamala's internal polling has Trump +4 in Pennsylvania. How's that to add insult to injury? Again, campaigns spend tens of millions of dollars on polling to determine where to spend their hundreds of millions. And Kamala is apparently seeing in real time in her own polling, she's seeing Pennsylvania slip through her fingers. And this, of course, and I got to be honest with you, I see her commercials all the time here. They're horrible. Trump's commercials are awesome. Her commercials are just bad. I mean, the way the Democrat imagination sees the world is it just doesn't resonate with anyone. And speaking of not resonating, I mean, Kamala is collapsing in Pennsylvania precisely because she's collapsed with the working class vote, right? We talked about this earlier today, the 1.3 million Teamsters. They're showing a near 2-to-1 blowout for Trump in their own polling. I mean, that's crazy. Did I see the, Mike is asking me, did I see the White Guys for Harris video? I have not. I have not seen the White Guys for Harris video. I hear it is just so utterly and pathetically cringe, but yeah. Kamala, she's got the graduate degree white guys on her side, but in terms of the hard working class voter, both white and non-white, she's lost them. She's lost them. It is an absolute train wreck. We're talking, she's losing them. I mean, she's like in the 20s with this demographic that Biden was winning, or at least was on par with Trump. That's how he was able to overcome the deficits in the voting in 2020. That's how he was able to win Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. It's precisely with that voting, precisely with those working class voters, particularly non-white working class voters. But the key to understanding all the polls, though, gang, all the polls, I don't care which one you're looking at, when all is said and done, it doesn't matter what poll you're looking at. It doesn't matter if it's a national poll or a state poll. It doesn't matter. They all show the exact same thing. What are they showing? You know it. We've already seen the pattern. Trump is consistently polling stronger than he has ever polled, either in 2016 or in 2020. And the Democrat is consistently polling weaker than ever against him. Trump is consistently polling stronger than ever, and the Democrat is consistently polling weaker than ever against him. Take, for example, just the latest CBS poll. It just came out. It has Harris up by 4 nationally. But they're polling around the same time in September of 2020 had Biden up by more than twice that. They had Biden up by 10. Now, of course, they were off. That was ridiculous. Biden was never up by 10, ever, in the national polling. So this latest CBS poll was off by 6. Now, isn't it interesting? If they're off by 6 again, with that +4 Kamala they're giving, then it would almost line up perfectly with the latest Atlas Intel national poll, which has Trump up nationally by 3. It would be within a point. And the Atlas Intel was the closest to nailing the margin back in 2020 of all pollsters. They came within the margin. Biden won by 4.3. I forget. They came within the margin by less than, 0.4, 0.5, something akin to that. It was eerily close. So the most accurate pollster of 2020 has Trump up by 3. And then if we cross-reference that with the CBS poll that that inflated Biden's vote by 6 points, they give Kamala a 4-point lead. We scratch off 6 points, and where are we? It's Trump plus 2. So, it just doesn't matter what poll you look at. You can cherry pick the polls all you want. I'm seeing this on the left wing, Twitter feeds. Oh, Kamala's up 4 here. Kamala's up 6 here. Kamala's up 5 here. You could pick any poll you want. When you compare it to where the election was in 2020 or 2016, the poll will undoubtedly show that Trump is significantly stronger than he has ever been, and the Democrat, Kamala, is weaker than ever against him. And so whether we're looking at the polls, whether we're looking at voter registration, or whether we're looking at the early voting, we're seeing the exact same pattern. Republicans are up and Democrats are down. This is across the board without exception. Republicans are up, Democrats are down. Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania. We're seeing a significantly higher Republican voter turnout than we saw in 2020, while at the same time, we're seeing a significantly lower Democrat voter turnout across the board. Now, total transparency, that pattern could change. That pattern certainly could change. We're very early in this election. We've got 40 more days to go. But like we talked about yesterday, right now, like we talked about this morning, right now, as we speak, bottom line, the pattern we're seeing in all 3 dynamics is that the Democrats across the board are down and the Republicans are decisively up. Over to you, gang. Over to you. Mikey, you want to come on in here? Do you have anything to say to our wonderful audience? There's Mike, our producer. How you doing, big guy?
Hello. How's it going?
Hello. How's it going? It's going well. Good
Yeah.
to see you. You have
No, I did.
Stephen Wright. Are you familiar with Stephen Wright?
Sounds familiar. I'm not sure.
You got to check him out. He's so funny. He was popular when I was growing up, but he's just got this deadpan delivery that's just very, very funny. But anyway, just
Gotcha.
wanted
Yeah. So, guys, we really want to remind you guys that we have the RSVP event. We have an RSVP available for the book launch event on October 2nd, and you can see it. I'll go off camera, or I can blow up Dr. Steve. You can see it right next to Dr. Steve. Just hiding in the corner, his new book, Fight. So we are so excited. Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
There you go. Yes, it's
There
an
you go.
awesome book. How Trump and the MAGA movement are changing the world. And that's what's so unique about this book. It does talk about how Trump and us, the MAGA movement, are changing the nation, but more than that, how it's changing the international order as we speak. So it's very Turley talky in the sense that we're looking at how this whole new civilizationalist world is rising, and guess who's right at the center of it? Not just Trump, we are the movement as well. So yes, definitely check it out.
Yeah, this book is amazing. It's a roadmap, and the event will walk you through the steps that this book teaches and give you a taste of it. So pre-order your book. Click the link below. You can go to Amazon. You can pre-order Dr. Turley's book. Just look up "Fight Dr. Turley." You'll find it. It's right at the top of Amazon. We're really excited for how well this book is selling, and we really want you guys to join in on it. And just order that book, RSVP, for the book launch event. It's completely free RSVP, and you get some awesome bonuses with that RSVP. You get some behind the scenes stuff. You get to talk to Dr. Turley. You get to ask some questions. and we'll be happy to just celebrate this book launch with Dr. Turley, and then maybe some special giveaways. I'm not sure. I am in charge of it for the most part with but I don't know. I don't know. Anything could happen in this book launch. You guys could get anything. So show up. It's
Um,
completely free, and it's October
and
2nd. Click the link below.
and it's online too,
Yes,
so you don't have
online.
to leave your own. You don't have to
Nope.
leave the comfort of your own couch.
Yeah,
It'll
we
be live, just
wouldn't
like what
dare.
we're
We
doing
wouldn't
tonight.
dare. Yep.
Yeah.
But if you have your own copy, it'll feel a lot more real. So pre-order that book, and then on October 2nd, we can all celebrate it together and give you guys some free stuff. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just and tell and all, but also get you prepared for this election coming up.
Yeah.
So So let's look at some questions here for Dr. Steve. Speaking of questions. Elizabeth Mulgrew asks, Dr. Steve, why are American Muslims supporting Trump when he is more pro-Israel than the Dems? Are domestic issues, i.e. wokeism, outweighing the Palestinian issue with them? Finally.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things there. So, yes, I think both of those are factors. Not both of those. Let me take a step back. I think when all is said and done, the enemy of my enemy is my friend is the operative principle here. It is no secret that the Muslim community felt very slighted by the Kamala Harris campaign during that. It was an actual disastrous convention. Remember, her poll numbers went down during that week, and then of course it ended on Friday with Trump and Kennedy realignment. That epic, Kennedy coming out on the stage to "There Goes My Hero" and the fire show behind him. Absolutely amazing stuff. So they felt totally slighted. Everybody, every other Democrat constituency got to get on that stage and plug their cause. The only one that wasn't allowed to come anywhere near that convention was the pro-Palestinian position. So this is their retribution of that. And as far as they're concerned, they think Trump could pressure Bibi Netanyahu to back off of Gaza and back off this attempt at trying to annihilate Hamas, which is not it's just never going to happen, and escalate the war. He is actively trying to drag the United States in by way of bringing Iran in through the proxy of Hezbollah. So Iran is best friends with Hezbollah in Lebanon. They are actively targeting, as you've seen, with beepers and the like, and it's just crazy espionage stuff. It makes James Bond look tame by comparison. But they are actually when they're taking on Hezbollah in Lebanon, they're really trying to drag Iran into this. They're trying to drag Iran into responding, and if Iran responds, they think they can drag the United States in. I think they feel that Trump just doesn't want to have anything to do with that, and he's going to pressure Netanyahu to bring about a peace here, because that just tends to be Trump's vibe. But I think it's much more, this is retribution against the Democrats. Okay, you freeze us out of your convention, fine. We freeze you out of November 5th. And in terms of the wokeness, yeah, I mean, Hamtramck passed, the first all-Muslim city council, one of the first acts was to pass a ban on flying the rainbow flag on all city property. And that was insane, because it was an all-Democrat council that passed that. And their secular Democrat counterparts, the woke in Hamtramck, were absolutely livid. But an all-Muslim city council could care less, because they don't want to have anything to do with wokeness. So I think what you're saying is across the board is right. I think this is just bottom line. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So it's very tactical in that sense, in terms of punishing Kamala for what she did at the convention. And yeah, I think they get thrown into that a little smack at wokeness to boot as well.
Gang, by the way, this is just a sneak peek of our Q&A that we do every Monday night. And we also have a Q&A Friday mornings at 11 a.m. And the only way you can ask your question is if you sign up by clicking that link below and joining us in our private live stream. We actually have 5,000 members. And currently, we have about 150 people asking questions. We've got a lot of questions to get through. So if you want to see us answer some of the more touchy subjects with a little bit more, censorship prone answers that we can't necessarily answer on YouTube or Rumble, where there are a lot of you guys, Twitter, X, sorry. Yeah, we really want to answer your questions, and you can have any of your questions answered. Seriously, we will answer any question you guys have. Dr. Turley will answer them all. He knows everything. So we're gonna, yeah, yep. High standard. We got to have the high standard.
High standard. Right.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna hop off if we find a question, and I think I found a good question that might lead us into our private live stream. But seriously, guys, hit that link, click that link below, RSVP for the book launch event. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to give you guys some free stuff. It's going to be a great time, and you're going to get some nice bonuses with that. It's Fight Dr. Turley. Find it on Amazon, order it, and we will see you on October 2nd. All right, let's look at we'll give you guys the question that he needs to answer off stage. Franz Paul says, with countless threats like Ryan Ruth, I think it's Ryan Ruth.
Routh, I thought it was.
Yeah, being known by the FBI, would it be fair to suggest that these unstable behavior traits are enabled by the feds to preserve their hegemony?
Ooh,
I don't know.
very good. That's a good question.
It's a great question.
Yeah, that's all right. To go to our own private platform to chat about.
That's right.
Yes, let's do that. That's great.
All right. Well, we will see you guys over there very soon. Also, we have our weekly boycott, and I don't want to give it away, but we might be doing something like a movie review.
Oh, that's right.
In our private live stream with all you guys.
That's right.
So those come few and far between, but I'm excited for tonight's boycott, you might say. So
okay,
we'll see you guys over there in 30 seconds.